Hi, my name is Ishan Shapiro, and I'll be giving you a short tutorial on how to use Metamaps. I'm going to give you an introduction to some of the core functionality. So first, in the bottom left, we have our menu. I'm going to go up and say Create Map. This map I'm going to call Reboot Labs Core Areas. Great. I can create a permission for it. Commons means that everyone can view it and everyone can edit it. Public means that only I can edit it and everyone can view it, and private means only I can edit it and only I can view it. We'll keep this commons. Let's say add map. And so now we're editing the map Reboot Labs Core Areas. So we call this big blank space our canvas. Now just double click on the canvas to bring up what we call the metacode spinner. Metacodes are different types of topics. We have person, we have group, we have bazaar, catalyst, closed issue, experiences, future developments, etc. So let's start with the event of DIYdays. I never try to get too stuck on which one I choose. You can always change it later. So let's say DIYdays. And we know that Reboot Labs, which is sort of an activity, is happening at DIYdays. To spin around the spinner, I'm just using my Mac trackpad or just my mouse wheel. So activity, we're going to go Reboot Labs. So I'll say Reboot Labs, and this is what I can create, which is called a synapse. By right-clicking on one topic and dragging to another topic, I can create a relationship between those topics. It then asks me to describe the connection. So I'm going to say Reboot Labs takes place at DIYdays. And you see actually takes place at is already in the system. So now what I've done is I've structured the relationship between these two topics. Okay, great. So we also know that now we have a few core areas that we're going to be exploring at Reboot Labs. So I brought these in before. Let's put these in just here. These are our 8. So I just put these in as a note. We're going to break these out into each one by one. Okay, so we've got, I'll just choose the wildcard icon, which is maybe a sort of category icon for this. We'll say health, education, government, and I just press enter after I create the topic, after I type in what I want. Humanity, culture, and ability, education, and economy. So now I want to connect these all to Reboot Labs. So I'll say, okay, economy is a core focus of, now I can do this for the rest of these. These are each categories that we're going to be exploring together over these next 2 days, 3 days. Okay, so now, this was just sort of a note topic that I brought in, so I don't need that anymore. What I'm going to do is come over to this menu in the top right, and I can sort of drag this around and put it where I want. And I'm going to say, okay, I really don't need this, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete selected. Now this deletes them completely from the system, so be careful what you wish for. Go ahead and delete that. We've got a couple of other options up here. The most important ones you need to know are remove selected and hide selected. Remove selected simply removes it from the map. So I could take out, for instance, urbanization, and I could say remove selected. That removes it from the map. Now we can always bring that in again. I can just start typing in urbanization, and there I see that I've got it, and I can go ahead and make that relationship again. So now we've made a map. Now let's organize it, right? So let's drag it around. I can select 2. I do this by using shift, and now I can sort of move multiples around simultaneously. I can also use shift and then clicking on the canvas and dragging to select multiples as well. I can deselect by clicking on them. I can open up the topic cards, add descriptions, add links. So let's do that for DIY days. We'll say a roving conference, and then we can go ahead and add in the link. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and change the platform to a experience, because DIY days is definitely an experience. Okay, so now let's organize these so I can make them into any shape that I want. And you know, a big part of organizing these maps is finding the right shape of the information. And also what I can do is I can zoom in and out. I can zoom in and out by simply using my mouse wheel or my Mac trackpad, using 2 fingers. All right, so that's one thing we can do. And we can also, if we want to move around the canvas itself, say we've got a topic way up here, we can just click on the background and drag to move ourselves around. Okay, that's a bit different from actually dragging all the topics together and moving them around. And now I've got a layout that I kind of like for it. I can go ahead and save the layout. Now what this does is pretty self-explanatory. It saves it in that form. So if I go ahead and I adjust something, I save it again. When I reload the page, it'll come in that form. All right, so the last part that I'll share with you guys is this Start Realtime. If I go ahead and press Start Realtime and somebody else on another computer is on the map with me, we will see the changes, the additions of topics and synapses that are happening in real time. All right, so that's about it. We have one other view that we'll explore as we go, which is that if you click on this topic card and you then click on the arrow, it leads you to what we call radial view, in which you can explore the relationships in a totally different way. Now, this is a way where we really can start to build stories out of these maps as we start to populate them, and that's something that we'll be doing as the weekend goes on. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to mapping with all of you.